bring us back.
Guys, very soon we're going to have more people, but in the meantime we have very good stuff over here. Anyone who wants to join us, let's put this down. Okay, so what we're saying here is basically we have to have something to hold this up. Oh.
You didn't put it to you. We have a Starburst.
Why not? Listen, you never know. It's all divine. Okay, so, anyways. That's the thing. The mitzvah is what counts at the end of the day. So the action is what counts, as opposed to other religions that say, or Jews that says, I'm good in the heart. It's the connection is. God is infinite. There's no way to connect to God in the world. There's no way that a created being like you were like we're no different than a knife and a cup, and we're all created beings.
Yeah.
God is infinite. God is the creator. Now look at this wonder. Jew is the only creation that includes the Creator inside. And Jew is like the Creator. Jew is part of the Creator himself because of the neshama. The godly soul is only given to a Jew. So what's the difference between a Jew and a non-Jew? The difference is there's no difference. You can't ask the questions about finite and infinity. It's like asking the question between 1 and a million. The difference is big. But one day one will catch up to a million. Because there are two numbers. At the end of the day,
they're connected. Yeah.
It's numbers. They're limited. As big as millions, still limited, still a number. A billion. Okay, but still a number. But one compared to infinity, that's not relative to ask because that's finite, that's infinity. Asking the difference between a Jew and the rest of the world, that's not even shaykh. It's like asking the question, what's the difference between God and the world?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Where the neshama is, the powers of the neshama.
And that's good for him because he's now
Where the
he's
Jew
gonna
comes
start
from?
getting the new soul.
About the ger, it says a ger shenis gayer, a convert who converted.
Yeah.
It doesn't say a Gentile who converted.
Yeah.
Because he was it's a true convert. He was a convert already before that. It was already predetermined to be a Jew in his bloodline. But God brings him back. God knows who he is, who isn't. So he's a Gershon, this guy. It's amazing. He's already Jew from the start. We just have to ignite that flame back to where it was before. So we dip him, we do whatever we do, but he will feel that flame. He'll come back no matter what. Some story, this, and then thousands of stories how he came back, but he'll come back. Granted. So, coming to this parsha, the Rebbe says, we are mamash holding, the Rebbe is making an unbelievable statement here. Gives you a lot of enthusiasm, gives you a lot of, the Rebbe says 1991, and the Rebbe said that this parsha was the end of all times. End of all times meaning end of all predictions of when Mashiach can come already. What's the last prediction a person can make for Mashiach to come? All those deadlines, Rebbe says, with that Shabbos, 1991, that last deadline was finished. The Rebbe is emphasizing. Kalo kol kitzin, if you can understand. Ketzayamin v'ketzayamin, the Rebbe says from both opinions that talk about what it means the end of days. So there's opinions here and opinions there. Says the Rebbe according to everyone. Kapshutoi mamash, the emphasis on the words. When the Rebbe italicizes or he bolds out or he makes the print weaker, that's the Rebbe's work himself. He does it himself. And he gives the printer the directions, which words to emphasize, which not. The Rebbe says, Kapshutoi mamash, literally, the end of times. It's irreversible. Mashiach is here. Mashiach is already revealed. It's just a matter of seconds, literally. That's what the Rebbe is saying here. And then the Rebbe says, and for sure, very, very soon, everyone will be able to point out to Mashiach and say, oh my God, this is Mashiach. This Mashiach was here already before. The Rebbe is referring to himself. So the Rebbe says, therefore, if this is the time we're in, we have to explain to each and every Jew what is our job to finish the last final touches to bring about the revelation. So it's called Tazriya מצורע. Tazriya, a woman who will be Tazriya, a woman who will become pregnant, and she will give birth to a baby boy. That's how the parsha starts. They're connected. If you need to do something, go ahead. Don't worry about it. I'm just flowing. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't feel
So
offended.
popular, you know?
Huh?
I'm so popular.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. That I wanted to bring. I bought so much of it this week, and I left. You like? I left a lot of this. This is like my drug.
Yeah.
I take it in my car when I'm driving. Kind of dangerous to drive with it, but I drive. From this guy. Not every place. At any rate, so giving birth, it's called Tazriya, but and מצורע is talking about a leper. A leper is a person who has this skin disease.
Yes, yes.
Both portions talk about skin diseases. Both portions talk about skin
You don't
disease.
mind if I let my cat go?
No, go.
No.
Do whatever you want. Go.
Because it's worth to listen.
Take your time, don't worry. Do whatever you need.
Okay, come.
Wow. You have cats? You do? Ever had a dog?
Yeah.
I never. Neither. The best business in the world.
Wow.
To have dogs, to sell dogs.
Oh, is it?
No?
Well, you know,
Second to cell phones, I would say.
a lot of people say
No, but you don't want
You
cell
can't
phone.
have-
Cell phone people don't mind.
because it's not kosher to have that.
They say the Rebbe had a dog outside the house, though. Outside the house. I never had.
So the thing is say it's not when say that it's not kosher. It's talking about the food, because I think the Torah talking about if we're gonna eat the dog.
No way.
No. Just having the non-kosher pet. That's what he's.
Yeah, you could have like a sheep or a giraffe, but a dog or a cat isn't.
Giraffe is not kosher.
Yeah, it is.
No.
It's not. At the end of the day, they say it's not.
It's not? Oh man, gonna have to call the pet store. Cancel my order.
Get it off my order. I want to see if this is still fresh. I should have brought the other. Well, that. Good. Okay, so she's giving birth. Birth is compared to redemption. Geula. תזריע אישה כי תזריע ביד הזכר כידוע שלידה ביד הרומזת על גאולה שקצב יד הציון את בניה ולידה זכר רומז על החוזק והתוקף. So she's giving birth to a baby boy. Birth is compared to redemption because this is unbelievable, beautiful parable that Torah gives to redemption, because the baby was already there in the stomach. It's not like it was an invention. The Torah is not comparing it to an embryo or something before the development of the child, but to the child already developed. The child was already there. The only thing missing is it has to come out to the open. The point in this parable is to show that redemption is going to be something that's already here. Redemption is not going to be different world, different people, different cats, animals, human beings. God is not going to wipe out and start a new world in a different world. It's already there. It just has to come out to the open. We just don't see it. That's why it's comparing it to the birth of a boy, and a boy specifically. Zachar. Isha ki tazri'a ve'yalda zachar. Zachar means the birth of the man, birth of a boy. Because the difference between a boy and a girl is that a woman can carry and miscarry, and after she gives birth, she goes again into labor, and after labor, she gives birth, but then goes back again into labor. But man does not go through all these stages. And man shows us something that's steady, that's strong, that's going to last. and be steady, not to go through any stages. Therefore, the future redemption is compared to a man because of the strength that man shows as opposed to a woman, something that's going to last, not something that's going to go back and forth like this. Because of all the redemptions that we had, we were compared to a woman. Mitzrayim, we went back to exile. Coming out of Persia with King Achashverosh, we went back again to other exiles. But this one, the future one, compared to a man, it's going to last forever. It's not going to go back. It's going to be, and it's going to stay.
Wow, make a lot of sense. It's true. I heard something about them.
Staying forever.
The both, the quality of the woman or the man is totally, each one do different job.
But God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I tell my boss that. Got so mad at me. And so the Rebbe says, so he says, Isha ki tazriya, a woman who will give birth. Now, the Jewish people is compared to the woman, and Hashem is compared to the men. Mm-hmm. And Isha ki tazriya means that she will sow, she will plant. Sowing and planting meaning the whole Jewish people as a whole will do Torah and mitzvahs, will keep Torah and mitzvahs throughout exile. They will keep Torah and mitzvahs. It's like sowing, it's like planting in the ground. Because when you plant, you put the seed inside, you cover the ground, it's gone. You don't see it. Later, it sprouts, grows out, it's beautiful. It's much later. So too with our time. We're sowing right now. We don't see the effect of putting on tefillin. You put on tefillin, it's gone. After that, 5 minutes later, the man is back to his animalism. Back to himself again. A woman lights candles. After that, Sunday it's back to normal, back to everything. But that's not the reality. This is sowing. We don't see the effects now. Later, Mashiach is coming right now. We're going to see the effect of everything we did. That's going to be the sprouting. We're going to see the effect that we did every time we did the mitzvah. So right now we're sowing. But the Torah says the true reality is that we are bringing down godly light that can never be lost, can never be diminished. Even a sin, a person falls and commits a sin, cannot erase a mitzvah. Mitzvah can erase a sin. But a mitzvah stays forever. The effect of the mitzvah will stay with you forever. You are connected to Hashem. Like we said before, there's no way to connect to God. Not through seance, coming out of the body experience, or through going out of the body and trying to connect to a soul or something like that. No way to connect to infinity, to connect to God. There's no way in the world. No way to connect to God. Only through a mitzvah.
Only through action.
Action. That's why the Rebbe always says, the action is the main thing. You can be the Rebbe, but if you will put only 6 reps and not 7, there's a custom to put 8, 9. That's a custom. It's fine. But 7 is the minimum. If you do 6, even if you're the Rebbe, you'll not connect to God. And you can take a guy off the street who will do 7. He's connected to God. And the Rebbe is not. God forbid. I'm just trying to give you an extreme terminology to show you that the point in the matter is you have to connect. If there's no mitzvah, there's no connection. So that's what we're saying. Put on tefillin. Oh, what does that help him? He put on tefillin, but he's the same person. He didn't change. Nothing happened to him. It's irrelevant. He has to do the mitzvah. Today he's coming. Today he got up. He woke up. He's a new man. He's obligated by all the mitzvahs. Once, God forbid, the person is dead. The Torah says, when he's dead, he's free of mitzvahs. When he's alive, dressed in a body, he's obligated by the mitzvahs. Has nothing to do with what he feels. Yeah. Having the kavanah, having the feeling into the mitzvah, that's very good. You make the mitzvah grow to a higher esteems, higher levels. It's like the difference between dark and light. You make the mitzvah much more powerful and that's really what we want to bring you to. But the Torah compares it to the chicken and the wings. What's more important? If you take off the wings, the law is the chicken is still kosher. They take the body off and leave the wings. There's no chicken here. The main thing is the body. The wings are very good to fly, to go. So we say the mitzvah is like the body of the chicken. That's a mitzvah. The wings is like love and fear to God. You can go higher and higher, but without the body, there's nothing. Without the mitzvah, there's nothing. Love and fear to God all day, but if you're not going to put on the tefillin, you didn't connect.
Yeah. If we don't learn Torah, if we don't have like a 5-10 minutes at least,
Exactly.
to learn, we don't do.
That's the biggest mitzvah,
Yeah.
learning Torah.
Yeah.
There's no bigger mitzvah. It says all mitzvahs are compared to learning Torah.
Learn Torah.
And so we're sowing. So he says, we are in this time. And then comes redemption. And we're going to see the effect of all that we sowed during exile. And now we come to the next parsha. And the next parsha is מצורע. מצורע is a leper. Who's called מצורע? Interesting. Sheikh himself has a few names. One of them is a leper. מצורע. Chivra de Rebbe. The leper of the house of Rebbe. Rebbe Yehuda Nasi. Rebbe Yehuda Nasi was the man who gathered all the Gemara, all the Mishnayos together and put them in volumes. He was the great-great-grandson of King David, like the Rebbe. All one lineage, one root, one hierarchy, all the way to King David. So, he's called a leper. Now, he's called a leper not because of himself. He's a complete man. He's the leader of the Jewish people. Why is he a leper? Why is he suffering? Why is he going through so much affliction? Because he's taking the sins of all the generation. Now, the leprosy is not to be taken literally. We're not talking about
Physical.
we're not talking about a skin disease that we're referring to today. Leprosy of the Torah is not what we will refer to as a skin disease. There's not leprosy today. Some people call leprosy whatever. They call certain leprosy, but it's not leprosy. There's no leprosy exists today. And we're not talking about skin disease at all. We're just talking about something spiritual, completely spiritual. And this is like when the Chassid came. It wasn't Chabad, for sure it wasn't Chabad, because he talked like the way he talked. I think we talked about it last week. He came to him and said, "I'm a heretic," he said to the Rebbe before. So the Rebbe told him, "You wish you were a heretic. A heretic means that you know the whole Torah and then you go against the Torah. What do you know?" So same thing over here, that you wish you were a leper. Leper can only be a person who's like a Rebbe. Mashiach is called a leper. The pasuk says in the Likutei Torah, the Alter Rebbe, founder of Chabad, he made the Likutei Torah. Chassidus, we learn there's 4 names to a human being, and the Jew is called Adam. Adam is the highest. It's Gever, Ish, Adam, Enosh. So all these refer to a different level of completion of work, how refined the person is. Adam is the highest.
The bench.
Adam is the highest. Adam is a tzaddik, real tzaddik. So it says like this: Adam ki negat sarat, but the pasuk uses the word Adam. Adam means a tzaddik. Because who got leprosy? Miriam, sister of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu himself. And we see it's not the skin that developed from dirt and from infection that took weeks and months to develop and then became skin disease. It was instant, like this. Moshe Hashem wanted to punish Moshe Rabbeinu. He said, "Don't put him underneath your armpit. Take it out." It was white. Put it back in. It was gone. But only Moshe Rabbeinu could get something like this. Miriam also. Some people in history, like Gehazi. Gehazi was a servant of Elisha. Elisha was a true prophet. Elisha punished him. He got leprosy. But that was a real leprosy. That was a real skin disease. That's not referring to the skin leprosy that Moshe and Miriam got. So people say, "Oh, but he also got it." But that was different. That's a real leprosy. So leprosy only comes to Adam. Adam is the greatest man. Miriam and Neviah. Miriam was a Rebbetzin. Moshe Rabbeinu was. Who else got it? So when Paro got it, that was a real leprosy. That's nothing to do with this leprosy whatsoever. So the Rebbe explains, leprosy is the source of leprosy is very, very, very high lights.
Wow.
We spoke about lights before. Very high lights. Now we're starting to get interesting now. Now we're starting to get into it.
Aye.
Very, very high lights.
Aye.
These lights, remember we started saying these lights don't have vessels. So when they come down, they don't have vessels to dress. So when you have a lot of money and you have a lot of good stuff and you don't have where to contain it, come all the robbers and all the Schwarzes and they all start taking from all the goodies you have. They all start sucking out. It's called in Kabbalah, mystics. In mystics, it's called Yanika Sachitonim. The sucking. I want to translate it loosely. Literal translation would be sacrilege of the evil forces. All the evil forces that exist, they start sucking out. It goes to bad places because there's no vessels to contain. That light, there's no vessels to contain it, so you would come to a person from a very high level. Adam, ki iyeh means if it will be. In other words, it's not relevant for that person. He's a complete person. He's only getting it because of other people. He's getting it because he's taking the sins and all the bad luggages of other people. He's saving their lives and he's taking it on himself. Every time you can see this. By the Rabbi a lot. But because he's a complete human being. So now, not a human being, more than a human being. So now, that's how these lights come down. We're talking about very high lights. We're not talking about anything physical. So if any Rosh Yeshiva who doesn't know Chassidus, learn this. Now, you can see also, in the practical sense, how it happened in a very strange way. The person who learned about skin disease, in the literal sense, he would come to the person. In the time of Bnei Israel, this would exist, tzaraas for the house. It would go on like a warning to the person, listen, it's coming to your house, it's starting to come to your door, it's starting to come to your table, it's coming to come to your countertop, but it's going to come to you. These are like warnings for the person's alerts. So listen, watch out, watch the way you talk, watch the way you speak. We're talking about very high people though, we're talking about tzaddikim, yeah? But there were people in the Jewish people that learned the Torah of these diseases, how to treat them. And there are hundreds of kinds, and they would have to come. And then after all the investigation, interrogation, and expertise of that person that went through 5 years of learning on the skin disease, he would determine this is impure, tameh. He was not allowed, and he could not, practically, be the one to determine if it is or not. Who would? The Kohen. The Kohen comes, no knowledge of this man. Still, he says, it's tameh, it's tameh. If he says it's not tameh, it's not tameh. And the guy, by the way, this is one question the Rebbe is asking, why? This man learned, he knows about the skin. This man, the Kohen doesn't know anything. The Kohen comes with love to the Jew. This intellectual doctor, he comes with his brain, not with love. When you want to come and tell a Jew he's tameh, you have to come to him with love.
Yeah.
The Kohen comes with love. He doesn't want to make him tameh. He will turn the world upside down to make sure you're not tameh. So if he did say that you're tameh, you are tameh. But that's when you have a love to a Jew. You can't come and start judging a Jew based on intellect or based on the heart. So you see that this is totally nothing physical. It's really all spiritual. It's all a spiritual Indian. So now the Rebbe says like this. I'm going to run through it. That the Rebbe says, this is really happening to us. It's obviously the Torah is relevant for this time. What about the highlights? How do the highlights hit us? Torah is eternal. Torah is forever. Torah is for 2018 and 3018 and 10,018. Torah is eternal. That's not history. Not a history book. So the way it hits us in our time, Dr. Rebbe says in Mlokut Torah, is that we could have highlights too. You daven. You're davening with complete concentration. You're so devoted, so into it. Your energy, you're enthused. And all of a sudden, at the end of davening, if your little kid comes and bothers you, you have a lot of energy now contained. If you don't direct this energy, you will explode because you just cause yourself to integrate, to store a lot of infused energy from above. If you're not going to direct it now and put it in vessels, it's going to explode on your kid. So what is the cure for this? Dr. Rebbe says, Zois Toiras HaMetzorah. Torah means Torah. It doesn't say this is the purity of the Metzorah. This is the Torah of the Metzorah. In other words, to put it in vessels right away, literally, you have to learn something. You have to learn Torah. Now you have to fold your talis. You have to put down your tefillin. You have a lot of light, and it's not simple. You have to learn. The Rebbe says the best thing to do after davening is sit down and learn a little bit, because you're directing this energy, and you can go out to the world, and if you're not containing vessels, it could go to the wrong places. It could go to the wrong places. The person says, "How could it be? I felt like I was in Atzilus all the way up, and now I'm lusting for this. I'm going crazy for this. How is this?" He's going crazy. If he doesn't know Hasidus, he can suicide. But if he knows Hasidus, he's a very happy man.
He's the rest. Left?
Yeah, right here. So that means that the light that we bring when we daven in, and then when you said because Tanya talked about sometimes also when we get disturbed from from a kid, and then we need to and that time also we need to concentrate more to the davening. It's like outside, like a sword who start like a kind of bothering you in order for you to get more into the davening,
Right, that's another thing.
There's another thing.
That's another thing. That Hashem sent him there. Hashem sent him in order to increase your kavanah. That you should increase your kavanah because they know you're capable for more.
For more, exactly. So in this case, it's like a I know you are kind of into the unity with Hashem, and someone come to you, and so you have to the Rebbe say in order to manage that connection, you need to go to the intermediate, like you said, to the Torah and learn